Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you have to make a choice to let go of what no longer serves you. Too often, we hold on to doors that should have been closed a long time ago. We linger in places we've outgrown, in relationships that drain us, or in memories that chain us to the past. But let me tell you something. Life doesn't wait for you to figure it out. Life moves forward, and so must you. When you keep peeking through the crack of that old door, hoping for a different outcome, you're only robbing yourself of what's waiting on the other side. That door represents everything you've already endured, the pain, the betrayal, the heartbreak. Why reopen what broke you? Why revisit what drained you? Close it, slam it shut if you have to. And when you do, lock it tight and throw away the key. Closing doors to your past is not about forgetting, but about prioritizing your growth and peace over what no longer serves you. This act of finality isn't rooted in bitterness or resentment, but in understanding that certain experiences, relationships, or situations have run their course. It's about recognizing that clinging to what's already over only holds you back from the new opportunities life has in store. Letting go doesn't mean you dismiss the lessons you've learned along the way. Every chapter, even the painful ones, has shaped you into the person you are today. However, there comes a time when you must take stock of where you are, evaluate what no longer contributes to your growth, and make the conscious decision to move forward. Think about a door for a moment. A door can represent passage, change, or separation. When it is left ajar, the energy of what's on the other side still seeps through, lingering and holding space in your life. It might be memories of old mistakes, unresolved conflict, or unfulfilled promises. By leaving it open, you allow it to dictate your present and influence your future. But when you firmly close that door, you take back your power. You're no longer tethered to the what-ifs or the what-could-have-beens. You signal to yourself and the world that you are ready to move on to a better, brighter path. Ready for target 9? The 20,000th target 9. Closing a door forever is an act of courage. It requires you to face discomfort, confront emotions, and accept that not everything in life can be fixed or salvaged. Often we hold on because we fear change or the unknown. We convince ourselves that holding on is a sign of strength, when in reality, true strength lies in letting go. It's in acknowledging that certain people, habits, or circumstances are not meant to accompany you into the next phase of your journey. By closing that door, you're choosing peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and self-respect over self-sacrifice. In relationships, this concept is particularly powerful. You may find yourself clinging to a connection that no longer brings you joy or fulfillment. Perhaps it's a toxic relationship that drains your spirit, or a one-sided friendship where you give more than you receive. You might justify keeping the door open with memories of how things used to be or hopes that things will change. But the truth is, people show you who they are through their actions, not their promises. If someone consistently disrespects you, undermines your worth, or fails to meet you halfway, it's time to stop waiting for them to change. It's time to close that door and protect your energy. The same principle applies to missed opportunities or past failures. How many of us replay moments of regret or disappointment in our minds, wishing we could go back and do things differently? But life doesn't work that way. The past is a place of reference, not residence. Dwelling on what you can't change keeps you stuck in the loop of self-blame and stagnation. Closing the door on those regrets means forgiving yourself, learning from your mistakes, and redirecting your energy toward building a future that excites you. It means no longer allowing the shadows of yesterday to dim the light of today. Closing a door forever also means setting boundaries. It's about refusing to let others cross lines that compromise your values or peace of mind. Some people will push, test, or even exploit you if you let them. They'll demand your time, attention, and energy without giving anything in return. By closing the door on these individuals, you're making a statement. I value myself too much to tolerate disrespect or imbalance. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but tools to protect your inner peace. They allow you to decide who and what deserves a place in your life. Number 2, surrender of your ego to build lasting impact. Sometimes the door you need to close is on old habits or beliefs that no longer serve you. Maybe you've been holding on to fears, doubts, or negative self-talk that keeps you from pursuing your dreams. Perhaps you've been engaging in behaviors that comfort you temporarily but sabotage you in the long run. Closing the door on these habits is challenging because it requires self-awareness and discipline, but it's also liberating. It's a declaration that you're no longer willing to be your own obstacle. You're ready to step into your potential without the baggage of old patterns weighing you down. Closing a door forever doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're leveling up. It's a commitment to yourself, your growth, and your happiness. It's a refusal to settle for mediocrity when greatness is within your reach. It's about creating space for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with the person you're becoming. When you close that door, you free yourself from the distractions of the past and open yourself to the possibilities of the future. You become intentional about where you invest your time, energy, and emotions. Think about the people you admire most. They didn't achieve success or happiness by clinging to the past. They didn't let fear of the unknown or attachment to comfort hold them back. Instead, they made bold decisions, let go of what wasn't working, and pursued their goals with unwavering determination. They closed the doors that needed closing, even when it was painful or uncomfortable, because they understood that growth requires sacrifice. It's important to remember that closing a door doesn't mean you're shutting out love or connection. On the contrary, it often creates the conditions for deeper, more meaningful relationships. When you let go of toxic or unbalanced connections, you make room for people who truly appreciate and support you. When you release old wounds or grudges, you open your heart to forgiveness and healing. Closing a door can be an act of love for yourself and the life you want to create. This journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's about trusting that the best is yet to come and that every ending is a new beginning in disguise. It's about taking ownership of your narrative and deciding what chapters deserve to be written. So, as you reflect on the doors in your life, ask yourself, which ones need to be closed so that you can walk confidently into the next phase of your journey? Holding on to the past can often feel like an anchor, weighing you down and keeping you from moving forward. It might seem comforting to revisit old memories, cling to familiar patterns, or dwell on what could have been. But in reality, this attachment can be one of the greatest barriers to your growth, happiness, and success. The past, as significant as it may have been, does not define who you are now or dictate who you are capable of becoming. It serves as a reference point, a collection of lessons and experiences, but it should not have the power to control your present or your future. To truly evolve and embrace the life you deserve, you must make the deliberate decision to let go of what no longer serves you. Imagine your mind as a suitcase. Over the years, you've packed it with experiences, relationships, emotions, and memories. Some of these are light, joyous, and uplifting, while others are heavy, painful, and burdensome. Carrying this suitcase everywhere you go eventually becomes exhausting. The weight of past disappointments, heartbreaks, and failures takes up space that could be used for new, exciting opportunities. Letting go doesn't mean you erase these memories or ignore the lessons they've taught you. It means you choose to unpack the unnecessary weight, keeping only what empowers you and discarding what drags you down. This act of release is not an indication of weakness, but a sign of strength. self-awareness, and resilience. People often hold on to the past out of fear of the unknown, fear of change, or fear of losing a part of themselves. The familiar, even when it's painful or unproductive, can feel safer than stepping into uncharted territory. But growth and transformation happen outside of your comfort zone. Clinging to old habits, relationships, or beliefs out of fear only keeps you stagnant. It prevents you from exploring the possibilities that lie ahead and robs you of the chance to discover your full potential. Letting go requires courage. It demands that you trust in your ability to navigate the future, even if you can't see the entire path right now. One of the most challenging aspects of letting go is forgiving, both others and yourself. When someone has wronged you or caused you pain, holding on to anger or resentment can feel justified. It might seem like a way to protect yourself or keep the memory of the injustice alive. However, harboring these emotions only poisons your own well-being. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that bind you to the past. By forgiving, you reclaim your power and create space for peace, healing, and growth. Self-forgiveness is equally important. Many people carry guilt or shame for mistakes they've made, opportunities they've missed, or actions they regret. This internalized blame can become a constant, unrelenting voice in their minds, preventing them from moving forward. To forgive yourself is to acknowledge that you are human, imperfect, and constantly learning. It's about recognizing that every decision you've made was based on the information and circumstances you had at the time. Rather than dwelling on what you could have done differently, focus on what you can do now to grow, improve, and make amends if necessary. Letting go often involves redefining your identity. For many, the past is intertwined with their sense of self. They may define themselves by their achievements, failures, relationships, or roles they've played. While these experiences are undoubtedly a part of your story, they are not the entirety of who you are. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, to evolve beyond the labels and expectations that others or even you have placed upon yourself, and depletion of trust. This is the power that letting go means embracing the fluidity of life and accepting that change is a natural, inevitable process. Relationships are a significant area where letting go can be both necessary and difficult. Whether it's a romantic partnership, a friendship, or a family connection, holding on to a relationship that no longer serves you can be deeply draining. It's important to distinguish between temporary challenges, which can be worked through, and fundamental incompatibilities or toxic dynamics, which require separation. Separation. Letting go of a relationship doesn't mean you didn't care or that the connection wasn't meaningful. It simply means that you recognize when staying in it does more harm than good. By releasing these ties, you make room for healthier, more fulfilling connections. The same principle applies to dreams or goals that are no longer aligned with your values or aspirations. As you grow and evolve, your priorities may shift. What once seemed like the ultimate achievement might no longer resonate with who you've become. Letting go of these outdated ambitions is not an admission of failure, but a sign of maturity and self-awareness. It's about being honest with yourself and having the courage to pursue a path that truly reflects your current desires and values. In terms of the skills that you have, or the strengths that you have, and the courage to pursue a path that truly reflects your current desires and values. Letting go is also about releasing expectations, both of yourself and others. Unrealistic expectations can create unnecessary pressure and lead to disappointment when reality doesn't align with your idealized vision. One of the most important aspects of persistence is having a clear vision of what you want to achieve. When you have a strong sense of purpose, it becomes easier to stay committed to your goals. Your vision serves as a guiding light, reminding you why you started and where you are going. It gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. Without a clear vision, it is easy to lose focus and give up when the going gets tough. Persistence also requires patience. In a world that often glorifies instant gratification, the ability to delay gratification is a rare but invaluable skill. True greatness takes time to achieve, and those who are willing to put in the work over the long haul are the ones who ultimately succeed. Patience allows you to stay the course even when progress is slow and results are not immediately visible. It reminds you that every small step forward is a step closer to your goal, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment. The journey to greatness is not one you take alone. Surrounding yourself with the right people is essential to maintaining your persistence. Seek out mentors, friends, and supporters who believe in your vision and encourage you to keep going. Their guidance and encouragement can provide the motivation you need to push through difficult times. At the same time, be mindful of those who may try to discourage you or undermine your efforts. Protect your energy and focus on the relationships that uplift and inspire you. Persistence is not about perfection, it is about progress. It is about showing up every day and doing the best you can with what you have. It is about learning from your mistakes and using them as stepping stones to move closer to your goals. Each small victory you achieve along the way builds your confidence and reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, these small victories add up, creating a powerful sense of momentum that propels you forward. There will be times when your persistence is tested, and you may feel like you are not making any progress. These moments can be discouraging, but they are also an opportunity to dig deep and find your inner strength. Remember that every great achievement was once just a dream, and every successful person faced challenges similar to your own. They persevered not because it was easy, but because they refused to let obstacles stand in their way. Greatness requires relentless persistence because the journey to success is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage, determination, and an unshakable belief in your ability to achieve your goals. It requires you to keep going, even when the odds seem impossible and the path forward is unclear. But it is precisely this persistence that makes success so rewarding. When you finally achieve your goals, you can look back on your journey with pride, knowing that you earned every bit of your success through hard work and perseverance. The power of persistence cannot be overstated. It is the key that unlocks the door to greatness, the force that propels you forward when everything else tells you to stop. It is the quiet determination that keeps you going, no matter how difficult the journey may be. And it is the one quality that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who let their dreams slip away. A vision without action is nothing more than a dream. To achieve greatness, you must move with purpose, determination, and unwavering commitment. It is one thing to see where you want to go, to picture the life you desire, or to imagine the legacy you want to leave behind, but it is something entirely different to take the steps necessary to make that vision a reality. Action transforms possibility into achievement, and without it, even the most ambitious goals will remain out of reach. Taking action is often the hardest part of any journey. It requires courage to step out of your comfort zone, to risk failure, and to face the unknown. The path to greatness is not paved with guarantees, and the fear of uncertainty can be paralyzing. But those who succeed understand that waiting for the perfect moment or ideal circumstances is a recipe for inaction. They embrace the idea that progress often comes from imperfect, messy, and challenging efforts, but efforts nonetheless. When you act with purpose, you align your actions with your vision. This alignment creates a sense of direction and focus that makes every step forward meaningful. Purposeful action is not about being busy for the sake of being busy. It is about doing the right things at the right time to move closer to your goals. It requires you to be intentional with your time, energy, and resources, ensuring that every decision you make contributes to your ultimate success. Determination is the fuel that powers action. It is the inner drive that keeps you moving forward, even when progress is slow and challenges seem insurmountable. Determination is not about brute force or blind stubbornness. It is about resilience and the ability to adapt in the face of adversity. Those who achieve greatness understand that setbacks are inevitable, but they do not let these setbacks define them. Instead, they use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and refine their approach. The journey to greatness is rarely linear. It is filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. To move with determination, you must be willing to embrace the uncertainty of the journey and trust in your ability to navigate it. This trust comes from a deep belief in yourself and your capacity to overcome obstacles. It is this belief that allows you to keep going. Even when the path ahead is unclear, the odds are stacked against you. Commitment is the foundation of consistent action. It is the promise you make to yourself to show up every day, regardless of how you feel or what challenges you face. Commitment is not about waiting for motivation to strike. It is about building the discipline to act, even when motivation is absent. Discipline creates habits, and habits create results. When you commit to taking consistent action, you set yourself up for long-term success, even if the progress feels slow in the moment. To act with commitment, you must have a clear understanding of your why. Your why is the reason behind your actions, the driving force that keeps you moving forward. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, it becomes easier to stay committed, even when the journey gets tough. Your why gives you the strength to persevere through challenges, the clarity to make difficult decisions, and the inspiration to keep going when others would give up. One of the most important aspects of taking purposeful action is the willingness to start where you are with what you have. It is easy to get caught up in the idea that you need more resources, more knowledge, or more experience before you can begin. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect moment often leads to missed opportunities. Those who achieve greatness understand that progress begins with the first step, no matter how small or imperfect it may be. Action also requires a willingness to take risks. To achieve something extraordinary, you must be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the possibility of failure. Failure is not something to be feared. It is a natural part of the journey to success. Every failure teaches you something valuable, whether it is a new approach, a deeper understanding of yourself, or a greater appreciation for the challenges you face. The key is to view failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. As you take action, it is important to remember that progress is not always immediately visible. The journey to greatness is often marked by periods of slow, incremental progress that can feel frustrating or discouraging. But those who stay the course understand that small steps add up over time. Each step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings you closer to your goals. It is the cumulative effect of consistent effort that creates lasting change and meaningful achievements. Taking purposeful action also requires the ability to prioritize. In a world filled with distractions and competing demands, it is essential to focus on what truly matters. This means saying no to activities, commitments, or habits that do not align with your vision. It means being intentional with your time and energy, ensuring that every choice you make moves you closer to your goals. Prioritization is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. One of the challenges of taking action is dealing with self-doubt. It is natural to question whether you are capable of achieving your goals or whether your efforts will pay off. But those who succeed understand that self-doubt is a part of the process. They acknowledge their doubts but do not let them dictate their actions. Instead, they choose to believe in their potential and their ability to overcome challenges. This belief gives them the confidence to keep moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty. The power of action lies in its ability to create momentum. When you take consistent, purposeful steps toward your goals, you build a sense of progress that propels you forward. Momentum makes it easier to stay motivated, to overcome obstacles, and to push through challenges. It creates a positive feedback loop where each small victory reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, this momentum becomes an unstoppable force that drives you toward greatness. Taking action also requires a willingness to let go of perfectionism. The pursuit of perfection can be paralyzing, causing you to delay or avoid taking action altogether. But those who achieve greatness understand that perfection is not the goal, progress is. They embrace the idea that imperfect action is better than no action at all. By letting go of the need for everything to be perfect, they free themselves to take bold, decisive steps toward their goals. Ultimately, taking purposeful action is about living with intention. It is about making deliberate choices that align with your values, your vision, and your goals. It is about being proactive rather than reactive, taking control of your life rather than letting circumstances dictate your path. When you act with purpose, determination, and commitment, you create a life that is not only successful but also deeply fulfilling. They allow you to take ownership of your life and create an environment that nurtures your growth. Letting go also involves releasing expectations. We often hold on to an idealized version of how things should be or how people should act. These expectations can lead to disappointment and frustration when reality doesn't align with our vision. Releasing expectations doesn't mean lowering your standards or settling for less. It means accepting things as they are and finding peace within that acceptance. It means letting go of the need to control everything and trusting the flow of life. When you release expectations, you open yourself to new possibilities and experiences that you might have otherwise overlooked. Another key aspect of letting go is detachment. Detachment doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It means releasing the need for external validation. It's about finding your worth and happiness within yourself rather than in someone else's approval or a specific outcome. Detachment allows you to approach life with an open heart and mind. It frees you from the pressure of trying to force things to happen and gives you the space to focus on what truly matters. It's a mindset that says, I am whole regardless of what happens around me. Growth is one of the greatest rewards of letting go. When you release what no longer serves you, you create room for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences to enter your life. You allow yourself to evolve into the person you're meant to be. Growth often requires you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace change, even when it feels uncomfortable. But with growth comes strength, wisdom, and resilience. My story is one of the greatest lessons, and at the same time, one of the greatest teachers. But at the same time, you become more confident in your ability to navigate life's challenges and more attuned to what brings you joy and fulfillment. Letting go also teaches you the power of gratitude. When you stop clinging to what's gone, you can fully appreciate what remains. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from what you've lost to what you've gained. It helps you see the beauty in the present moment and find contentment in the here and now. Gratitude is a practice, and the more you cultivate it, the easier it becomes to let go of what doesn't align with your values and priorities. Finally, letting go is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that unfolds over time, often in layers. You may think you've let go of something, only to find it resurfacing in a different form. This doesn't mean you failed, it means you're human. Letting go is a continual practice of release, acceptance, and renewal. It's a path of self-discovery that leads you closer to your authentic self and a life that reflects your truest desires and aspirations.